I'm Lexi. I'm in the US. And I know this looks a little different today, but we're doing something different. This is the week before Christmas. And I don't know about you, but I need a break. So I'm going to use some of those freezer meals that I've got waiting in my freezer for me. And we are going to do 5 days of freezer meals. Why don't you come along with me? Today is Sunday, so I have pulled a lasagna out of the freezer to thaw. I'll show you that in a second. And tomorrow, I'll check in to show you how it comes out. Some of these freezer meals are going to be things that you've seen me make in previous videos, in which case I'll link those videos down below. And some of them will be things that hopefully you'll see me make throughout next year. I know I said this is the week before Christmas, and this video probably isn't going to go up till January. I wanted to make sure that I could give all of you some extra January content, because I don't know about you, but pretty much all the YouTubers I watch tend to take January off. And by all means, take time off. Do you, have some you time, relax. But just the fact that it's always January leaves me scrabbling for content to watch. So I'm going to try and put out a few extra things so that you guys out in YouTube land have a little bit more to watch from me. Let me get that lasagna. Okay, I actually put this in the refrigerator yesterday because the lasagna is a very dense brick of food, so it takes a while to thaw. You can see here, it's still pretty frozen. There's a lot of ice crystals on it. If you remember, or if you go back and watch the other video, when we packed this to freeze, we had wrapped it in plastic wrap. So I took that out of the freezer and took the plastic wrap off before putting it back in this glass pan. That way I don't have to fight with it. But it'll thaw like this, and then it's going to go right into the oven, still covered in its foil, just like this. Because the glass dish will be cold from the refrigerator, I don't preheat my oven. I just put it into the oven, turn it on at 350, and let it cook for about an hour and 15 minutes, just like this. And then you take the foil off for another 15 minutes, just to get the cheese all gooey and bubbly. But I will check in with you tomorrow when this comes out of the oven. See you then. Okay, so I did end up cooking the lasagna for about an hour and 15 minutes at 425, and then uncovered it for another 15 minutes so the cheese could get all melty and bubbly and yummy looking. And that's what we've got, a nice, gooey, yummy lasagna. Let's cut into it, shall we? And that's what it looks like on the plate. Absolutely delicious. I decided to go with paper plates because it's more of a break if I don't have to do dishes, right? Well, I'll see you tomorrow where we will be making some beef stew. Hi, it's Tuesday, and I told you today we'd be making beef stew. So I did have the beef stew meal prepped in my freezer, but you didn't see that because I filmed it, but somehow I lost like half the footage and it just wasn't a viable video anymore. So once I get all this eaten, I will try and do that again. But at the moment, we've got my bag of frozen beef stew stuff, and I'm just gonna dump that right into a big oven-proof container. I love meal prepping beef stew because it's really versatile. You can cook it in the oven, you can cook it on the stove top, or you can cook it in the crock pot, depending on what your life requires of you that day. So we've got that in there. Next, I'm going to add a quart of beef stock. And this is still frozen. You don't have to thaw the beef stew before you cook it. And then about a cup of red wine. If you don't want to add the wine, just either add more beef stock or some water. Then I need a spoon. I didn't bring a spoon. One moment. Spoon! Gonna give this a rough stir, which you can't stir it too much because it's still frozen, but you want it all in the liquid. Put the lid on, and then this goes in your oven for about 3 hours. I would check it about once an hour, or check it at least once to make sure you still have enough liquid in here. Add some water if you need to, and maybe give it a taste to see if you need some more seasonings. But it's a pretty low attention dish. So I will see you back in about 3 hours when this comes out of the oven. It's been 3 hours, and I've got the beef stew out of the oven. This is what we've got, and it looks all kinds of yummy. Nothing left to do now but take a taste, right? Just give it a little stir. Now, I did take the lid off for about the last 20 minutes or so, just to let it thicken up a bit. But if you like a thinner stew, don't worry about doing that. Wow, this is really hot still. That meat just falls apart. Rich and warm and comforting and perfect for that cold winter's day. It's snowing outside today, so this is the perfect dinner. But that's all I've got for tonight. I'm going to sit down and enjoy my stew. I will see you tomorrow when we make stuffed peppers. See you then. Bye. Okay, welcome to Wednesday. I have my stuffed peppers here, and they are all ready to go. I just have to take this foil off of them. And then I've got a new air fryer, so I'm going to pop them in the air fryer at 400 degrees and set that for about 30 minutes and see how they are. This air fryer runs a little slower than my old one, so it may take a little longer than that. I'll let you know. See you when these come out. And they've made it out of the air fryer, all toasty and yummy. Took about 45 minutes total to get these up to temperature. So my new air fryer is definitely a little slower than the last one. Let's give them a taste. Delicious. These ones are filled with sausage, so they must be the pizza flavored ones I did. Yummy. I had no idea what flavor they were. I didn't label the bag. I probably should do that. But I will see you tomorrow when we make enchiladas. Bye. Welcome to Thursday. Today is enchilada day. And I've got my tray of enchiladas right here. This is what they're looking like. I pulled them out of the refrigerator on Tuesday evening. Gave them 2 days to thaw because, like the lasagna, it's pretty dense, takes a little while. And again, just like the lasagna, I'm going to put this into an oven at, I think we'll go 400 on this one, and I'm going to leave it covered, and I'm not going to preheat the oven since my glass dish is cold. And then I'm going to give this about an hour and 15 minutes and check it to see if it's hot. If it is, I'll pull the foil off for about 10-15 minutes. If it's not, I'll give it a little more time first. Either way, I will see you back when this comes out of the oven. I've got the enchiladas out of the oven, and they look delicious. Don't they? So now I am going to scoop one onto a plate and give it a taste. These are super hot still. So I'm going to try my best to not burn my mouth. It's always a little hard to get the first one out. Yeah, the first one kind of always falls apart, so it's not real pretty. Yummy, but not real pretty. Time to give this a taste. Maybe blow on it first so I don't burn my mouth. That chicken is so moist and flavorful. The sauce is smoky and rich and just the right amount of cheese to make everything kind of creamy. So I'm going to sit down and enjoy my dinner, and I will see you back tomorrow when we make chicken pot pie. Bye. Hi, welcome to day 5. This is our last day of doing freezer meals for 5 days, every day for dinner for a week. And you know, I have to tell you, I have really enjoyed the break, and I think I'm going to have to do this again sometime. Did all of you enjoy this? Because I can do other variations on it too, like 5 days of crock pots, 5 days of soup, 5 days of air fryer meals, 5 days of sheet pan meals. Let me know down below in the comments if you'd like to see some other variations on this. But I told you that today was chicken pot pie day, and I've got my chicken pot pie right here. Just gonna take the foil off. And I am going to put it in the oven just like this. Just like all the other ones, I'm not going to preheat the oven. I don't want this cold glass to crack in the hot oven. So I'm going to put this in, set the oven to 350, and as soon as I hear that oven come up to 350, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to put a piece of this pre-made puff pastry on top. Just lay it on top, cut a couple of slashes for vent holes, and put it back in and turn the oven up further to 425. If you put the puff pastry in and then let the oven come up to temperature, all that butter is just going to melt out and you're not going to get that nice little puff. But my oven takes, I'm not even kidding, somehow it takes like an hour to get up to 425. So I don't want to let this cook that long before I put the puff pastry on. But 350, it can get up that high in like 15 minutes. Not sure what's going on there. But put this in, turn the oven on to 350. When it beeps that it's a temperature, add the puff pastry, turn it up to 425, and cook until the puff pastry is done. That's probably going to take like 25 to 30 minutes. Something like that. You want golden brown and delicious. So I will see you when this comes out of the oven. The pot pie is out of the oven, and it is all golden brown and delicious. Doesn't that look good? Nothing left to do now except take a big scoop out of it and give it a try. Too hot. Way too hot. Guess we're starting that blooper reel early this year. That was really hot. Needed to cool down for a minute. What can I say? But it's delicious. There's a lot of rosemary in the gravy, which just goes so well with the chicken. The pastry is light and flaky. Delicious. Can't go wrong with puff pastry. Next time I make these, I'll probably add a little more gravy. They could use a little more gravy. That was a past me oops. We'll fix that next time. But for now, I'm gonna have a seat and eat my dinner. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.